Hello, everybody. What's the word, Thunderbird? Okay, I unmuted. Thank you, studio. What's the word, Thunderbirds? Hey, tonight. I got a lot of words for y'all. Hey, Sandra, go ahead and share the show. Say sure now. Okay. All right. Listen, y'all. I got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna talk about Supreme Court Justice 101 for y'all, but right now, we just gonna do the greetings. I greeted y'all and said hello, and I'm gonna do catch up. Mm-hmm. Mm. I'm gonna do catch up and let y'all know how I'm doing. I went to my doctor for the X-ray to see if there was any more pneumonia left on my lungs. And thank the Lord, there was none. However, now he did say that in the right curvature, the pneumonia was on my left lung. But he said that let me scooch over so I can be in the center over here. Now he did say that he saw something on my right lung, in the curvature of my right lung, and at the bottom. And he said, I asked him, was it my COPD? He said, no. Well, I'm not showing. I don't see me. Well, I don't see me. Oh, I started to watch party. Then I see that. Okay, hold on. Let me try this again. Oh, okay. And now I see me. Okay. Okay. I don't know what I did wrong, but it's a good thing I'm just starting the show, so the party didn't didn't miss much. Okay. All right. Okay. I sure did that. Okay. Now. All right. Hi, David. I'm in here now. I every every time I'm in the studio by myself, I always have issues. Excuse me. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing catch up with you guys. You know, I'm greeting y'all, saying hello to all my friends and my fans, and letting y'all know how I'm doing. And I was saying I went to the doctor yesterday to get my follow up. I had to get a chest X-ray from when I was in the hospital on September 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for pneumonia on my left lung, right? So I had gone to the doctor on the 16th for the follow-up, you know, just getting right out of the hospital. But he didn't want to take an X-ray right then. He told me to come schedule it for like 4 weeks later, which was yesterday. And I did. And so I went yesterday, and the good news is that the pneumonia is gone. I thank God for that. And but however, he said that he saw something on the bottom, at the bottom curvature of my right lung. Now I have not been having any problem with my right side at all that I know of. But the thing about it is, he says, I asked him, was it my COPD? And he said, no, it's not COPD. I said, is it cancer? He said, no, it's not cancer. I said, well, it's a pneumonia. He said, no, it's not pneumonia. He said, I don't know what it is. He said, seriously, He said he has never seen anything like it before. And it's he showed it to me, and it's just look like a little swirl of cloud, like a little swirl of cloud from the sky or something. And I say, well, that's just the way it is with me. I'm gonna end up with something nobody never had. So he's going to say he say he has to send that to the X-ray experts because he doesn't see anything like it before in his life. Well, I don't know if the expert gonna figure out what it is or not, but at any rate, if they can't figure it out what it is from the outside looking in, they can't cut on the inside and try to figure it out. I'm too old for cutting. I'm sorry. So let's not catch up with you guys. All right. Love y'all. Hey, Thomas Chapel. Thank you so much for joining in. So next thing is we're going to do the voting update. That's right. I want y'all to know in Tennessee, everywhere else, your voting date is November 3rd. However, early voting is going on. So you guys get out there and vote early. There's some problems. In some states, they're saying that people have to stand in line for 10 hours. We know that our stupid government has made it very difficult for people to vote. That is called suppression of the vote. And so what I want to say is don't be discouraged. If you have to take your tent, your lawn chair, your lamp, your lantern, your heater, your cookout grill, whatever you got to take it, camp out, get your vote in, okay? Because I know I'm going to take my chair. I'll probably go tomorrow. If I don't make it tomorrow, I'm definitely going next week because in Tennessee, the early voting ends on October 29th. So I did check that. And so I got a few more days, right? But I just want to let y'all know that. But we're going to talk about voter suppression. I watched the hearings all 3 days, and there was a lot of discussion from the Democrats questioning the candidate for Judge Ginsburg's justice seat, Amy Coney Barrett, about voter suppression. Well, she wouldn't answer any questions. She kept saying that she couldn't answer because it might be a pending case or a case that might come before her in the Supreme Court. Because see, she's already assured that she's gonna definitely get confirmed by the Republican. I got some tissues down, tissues and got stuck on my lip. I don't know how that. Okay, I got that. And must be that coffee. And so, she is gonna be confirmed because the Republicans have enough votes to confirm her because they're gonna vote on October the 22nd. However, the Democrats, particularly Senator and candidate for Vice President Harris, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, and some other Democrats, Senator Feinstein, and some more, are encouraging people to get out and vote because don't think that just because the Republicans are confirming her that it won't make a difference on November the 3rd, because it will. It will make a difference because of Section 2 versus Section 5. There is a case that will come back up, Shelby County versus Holder. That's Tennessee, right? And what has happened, there are some other states too, because of Shelby County versus Holder, that are suffering voter suppression by a number of restrictions being put on the state. Okay. And one of our restrictions, of course, uh, they take away, suppress it by, they made us start making us have voter ID. And your address had to match, whatever the address is on the polls. They started changing your voting location. Because you used to could just vote in your neighborhood. They started putting people voting locations way away from where they actually live. Those type things. That is called voter suppression. And so Shelby County versus Holder brought this case to the Supreme Court. They brought it through the channels and then went all the way to the Supreme Court. And so Scalia, who is dead now, he did not dissent. He was for the suppression. Now the difference is Section 5 of your right to vote. It doesn't require all of this stuff, okay? And so this Section 2 is a revision where they put in all these extra requirements. And see, I don't understand that. That's some fishy stuff anyway. So, because to me, when you do an amendment, how come it wasn't Section 6? But anyway, I just want y'all to know the difference of what they're talking about when they talk about the case of Shelby versus Holder. Because that's what they're talking about. It doesn't, because of that case, it's affecting several states, particularly red states. Tennessee is a red state. So what they're saying is the Republicans are the ones who have passed this legislation, you see. And so when the case comes back again before the court on appeal, then they're saying that if they have enough Democratic senators, that would reduce the majority vote in the Senate for Republicans. So that's why the Democratic Party is encouraging everybody to get out and vote so that some of these red states can turn blue. And then that way, the Senate will not be red and have full control where they can make all of these new legislation, which is not in favor of the people, in my opinion. All right. Okay. Now, in the hearings, like I say, I watched the hearings all 3 days. And the last 2 days, they were talking about the number 29. But before I go to that, I just want to talk about the candidate, Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Y'all know that she went to Rhodes College here in Memphis, Tennessee. And that wasn't brought up until yesterday by Marsha Blackburn, the Republican senator for Tennessee. I was hoping that they did not mention Memphis the first day. The first day, they only mentioned Rhodes College. I was hoping they did not say Memphis. But Big Mouth Marsha and then she gonna ask the whole arena, have y'all ever been to Memphis, Tennessee? I was like, Marsha, please. Okay. So, yeah, I know I'm going to lose some Republican views on this on tonight. That's fine. That's fine because, see, I'm going to give it to you raw. I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Mhm. Okay. So, now, I see it on my 901 show. So, she brings all of her 7 children to the hearing. And I said, now, why does she want to bring her children to the hearing when she's being drilled about lesbian and gay rights and abortion? And they're hearing all this, right? Well, that was my first concern for the children. That was really my only concern for the children. But then when I flipped the coin and looked at the reason why she brought them, I thought back to the Kavanaugh hearings where they really cut up in there. It was a circus. They talked to him bad. They could just be themselves to say what they want to say. And some of it was rough. And I said, well, she brought her children so that those politicians, those senators, probably wouldn't talk rough to her. And they didn't. They didn't. So, she was very cunning. She was cunning. And then when it came to race relations, she brought those kids because she has adopted. Her and her husband adopted 2 Haitian babies when they were babies, right? And raised them. Now they're teenagers. And so she brought them to showcase to make people assume or presume that they are not a prejudiced family or that she's not prejudiced. But let me give you the inside scoop on that. The inside scoop on that is this. Those babies were born in Haiti. Haiti. They are not African. So they are not, even though their skin color is of color, even though their skin color is black, they are not black. They're not African American. They are Haitian. And, because of the HIPAA laws, we probably would never know how, when asked about their race, when you have to check the box on your race, what race you are, we would never know what box they check for those 2 kids. But I'd be willing to bet you $1.25 that they check other or they check Asian Pacific, because Haiti is Asian Pacific area. It's not North America and it's not Africa. All right. So those 2 kids are Haitian. They are not African American. And she is from Louisiana, studied in Tennessee, and practices has a jurisdiction that covers Illinois and Wisconsin. So my question was, why did you have to go get Haitian children? Were not the children, the real African American babies, not good enough? So, that told me a lot about her and him right there. It did. Hey, Scott. But enough about her, because this is really about you. And then I watch C-SPAN because they have the people that call in and ask them what they thought about the hearings and their opinions. And so then on yesterday, they had them calling in asking what they had a number for you to dial in if you were supported her And then they had a number that you dial in if you oppose her. And then they had a separate number that you dial in or if you were undecided. And then they also had a number where you could text them. Also, you could tweet them. I didn't do neither. Mm-hmm. But for all phone calls that I heard, the highest percentage of the people calling in are opposed her. And the main reasons were two main reasons. They said it shouldn't be going on. This hearing shouldn't be going on now. That the politicians up there, the Republicans, should be trying to rush through some COVID relief for people rather than rush through a justice for the Supreme Court. The second reason was they don't believe that she is for the people. She was not a liberal judge like Justice Ginsburg was. And that because of her philosophy, which she has stated and given speeches on how her philosophy was that of Justice Anton Scalia. And Scalia was a real right-wing conservative Republican, just as far right as you could go. And in my opinion, very prejudiced. You know, so she has boasted and claimed that that her philosophy is like him. And so they brought up a lot of cases too, where her decision on the cases in the 7th district that she runs, that she decides, seemed unfair. They put them to her. And, you know, she I'll give it to her. I think she's pretty smart. But just because you're smart doesn't mean that you're not unfair, you know. So this number 29, that's all the Republicans was hollering yesterday and today. Because every time the Democrats brought up that this is the first time that they have this committee has ever brought forth trying to you know, do a justice in during the year of a presidential election year. This is the first time this soon before an election. That's what the Democrats said. And they are right. And I'm going to tell you why. After I tell you what the Republicans say. The Republicans are okay, so here they go. They get their history books out. They go with this number 29. That's all I was hollering for 2 days. There have been 29 presidential years, years where we have nominated and confirmed justices during a presidential year. 29 different times, 29. And the justices were confirmed during a presidential election year. Well, that's true too. But what they are not telling you is that during those 29 times that they did confirm those justices, the people had not already cast their vote for a presidential election. It was way before one single ballot was cast, you see. So that's why the Democrats are right. This is the first time that anything like this has ever happened in history where the Republicans, or any party for that matter, has rushed through to try to get a justice confirmed before a presidential election this close, 20 days, or 19 days tomorrow, before an election. Because, why? Because the people have already, 4 million people have already cast their ballot. During those 29 years, those 29 times that it happened during a presidential election year when a justice was confirmed, not one single voter had cast the vote yet. So that's why the Democrats are right and the Republicans are wrong. So I don't care any way they try to explain it. And you can go back in history and check it. Not one voter had cast a ballot during not one. Yeah, that's right. Out of those 29 years, not one voter had cast a vote already before a justice was confirmed during a presidential election. The Republicans are wrong. They're lying. Mm-hmm. Okay. I already talked about Supreme Court nominees, so next coming up, this is what I'm going to tell you all about. She says that she is an originalist. So some of you watched the hearings. They talked about originalism, textualism, and all that. Well, there are different types of judicial philosophy. And that's what I'm going to tell you about when I come back. So stay tuned, share the show for Pearl's Politics. Tonight's very plain talk on the Supreme Court Justice System 101. All right? All right, stay there. I'll be right back.
The Cupboard Restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee is world famous for some of the best food and southern hospitality you'll ever find, and is a celebrity favorite. Open from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. every day. The Cupboard Restaurant is located at 1400 Union Avenue, 1 block east of Cleveland, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Got a large group? Groups of any size are welcome, and catering is available. While you're there, pick up a copy of Charles Capella's world-famous Cupboard Cookbook. Check out their website at www.thecupboardrestaurant.com. That's The Cupboard Restaurant, 1400 Union, 901-276-8015. A proud sponsor of The Emily Pearl Show.
It's the 901 show. The 901 show. Get on this hot night. The 901 show. It's the 901 show. The 901 show. The 901 show. 901 show. 901 show. Get on this hot night. The 901 show. 901 show. Hot night. Hot night. Hot night. Hot night. The 901 show. 901 show. Hot night. Hot night. Hot night. It's the 901 show. 901 show. It's the 901 show. The 901 show. Get on this hot night. The 901 show. It's the 901 show. 901 show. It's the 901 show. 901 show. Okay, I'm back. All right, y'all ready for Pearl's Supreme Court Justice 101. All right, I'm going to share a screen with y'all. And so y'all can read along with me. And I'm going to explain it to y'all. Oh, I stopped sharing. Okay, I did the wrong one. Let me bring it up again. Okay, there we go. Okay, where are you? I gotta find it. I must be down here. Okay, find this. No, Tanya, I'm not trying to get you. I'm trying to find the screen I'm sharing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put myself. Okay, I didn't hear me talking, so I had to bring me back in. I didn't hear me talking while the screen was up, so I'm gonna have to read this to y'all. Okay. Hey, Doc, what's up? That's my dentist. How this teeth looking? They looking all right? Okay. So when we talk about judicial, y'all. Okay, I didn't hear me talking. Okay, yeah, okay, that came back in. Yeah, I have to turn my volume down. Okay, so they were talking about judge. She's already a judge. Okay, Judge Amy Coney Barrett. She says that she is an originalist. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, 6 types of judicial philosophy, y'all. Okay, one type is called living constitution / living tree doctrine. Now, this was Justice Ginsburg's philosophy. And this belief goes this way. These type judges believe that the Constitution is a document that adapts to the times, taking on different meanings depending on when it is interpreted. And this is opposed by originalists and textualism. So that means that Amy Coney Barrett doesn't believe that the same thing that Justice Ginsburg did, right? Because Justice Ginsburg believed that the Constitution is a document that should be adapted to the times. For instance, we're living in 2020. So the Constitution should be read to be adapted to 2020 and not 1776 when it was written. For instance, in 1776, women didn't even have the right to vote, right? In 1776, Africans were slaves, right? This is 2020, 2020. Now women have the right to vote. Africans are no longer slaves in the United States. So this was Justice Ginsburg's take on the Constitution, that we adapted based on the changing in times as times change. This is opposed by originalists. Amy Coney Barrett says she's an originalist. Justice Scalia was an originalist. So she says that her philosophy is the same as Justice Scalia. Okay. Here comes originalism. And that means that these are judges, they take the Constitution for its original meaning. And that's Scalia and Barrett. Original, that's the second one. The third one is original intent. And that means that judges read the Constitution based on legislative intent and legislative history. In other words, they go by the laws, previous laws, precedent. That's what they mean by that word, precedent. That means what was the verdict? What was the decision in the previous law? What was the previous decision? How did they rule on the previous case? That's what that means. On the third judicial philosophy. That's called original intent. But it's still a form of originalism. Okay. Then the next judicial philosophy is strict constructionism. Need I say more? Because, y'all remember the construction of the South, right? That was during slavery time. Strict constructionism. Judges that use this philosophy use it this way. It is the opposite of textualism, and it provides that a text be interpreted by reading the words as they come literally. Literally. What that means is if it says, do not cross, then that's what the judge is going to decide by what it actually says in that case. Do not cross, or in the law book. Okay. Now, textualism, that's the other type of judicial philosophy. Judges that use this type is the same as originalism. And The first day that Amy Coney Barrett did her hearing, she emphasized how much she was an originalist. However, on the second day, she came in and combined and added, rather, that she also used textualism. Textualism. Mhm. But there's really no difference because textualism, it says here, is the same as originalism as with Justice Scalia, who used a methodology. I can never say that word. Methodology. There it is. Methodology of interpreting the statutes, and the Constitution should aim at establishing the original meaning of the text. Mhm. In other words, Judge Scalia was more apt to agree with the lower court decision. And when there's a lower court decision, it's apparently the defendant does not agree with the lower court decision. That's why they take it to the Supreme Court for a higher decision, right? But Judge Scalia was one of those judges that tended to agree with the lower court, which was the statute, which was that statute law. You see what I'm saying? And so Amy Coney Barrett is saying that her philosophy is like Judge Scalia. So if you got a case that you got a verdict from a lower court that you don't like the verdict, and you want to take it to the Supreme Court after she's confirmed, if you don't have enough Democratic senators, if you don't vote out enough Republicans on November 3rd, so you can vote in some Democratic senators, then she'll be the ninth justice. You know, she'll be the one that makes the final vote, the final decision, which means that your case will probably get agreed by her with the lower court. Now, how you gonna feel? How you gonna feel? You know, so that's what all the ruckus and hullabaloo is all about. Now, the next and last judicial philosophy is purposive approach. Might be purposive. I don't know. It's PURPOSIVE. I think it's purposive though. And judges who use this approach use common law courts interpretation of statute, part of a statute, or a clause of a statute. In other words, they will pick apart a statute or a clause from a law and make their decision upon that. And they call it common law courts. For instance, I think like in Tennessee, there's a common law that if you live for somebody and you shack up with somebody for 7 years, then you're considered to be a common law wife and husband. So that's the kind of philosophy that is. And so if the man or the woman wants to go to court and say that, well, he can't leave me because we married, we're a common law husband and wife, because we've been living together for 7 years. Well, the judge will look at the common law statute. He may look at the common law part of that statute. He might look at a clause of the common law statute and make his decision from it, right? Okay. So those are the different types of judicial philosophy. And so I just wanted you to know that because I know y'all been watching the hearings and, they use all of that Ivy League language, terminology, and try to make themselves look so important. But you having a hearing for the people of the land, so you should be talking where any lay person would be able to understand, you know. And the other thing that happened today was so funny. Oh, I forgot to show these as I was talking about them, and there they go. The Living Constitution, which I'll show them now. The Living Constitution / Living Tree Doctrine. And I told y'all what that was. I'll just do a recap. This was Justice Ginsburg's philosophy. And she believed that the Constitution, it was a document that should be adapted to the times, to the changing times. In other words, when she made her decisions, she made her decision based on 2020 in connection with the Constitution, rather than just looking at what the Constitution said for 1776. So therefore, if it required something dealing with the woman saying that she was denied the right to vote, then how was she supposed to make a decision on it from the Constitution that was written in 1776 when women wasn't even allowed to vote? So that makes sense, right? And then, of course, the other one is originalism, which that's what Amy Coney Barrett says she is an originalist. Justice Scalia was an originalist, and she says that she uses Justice Scalia's philosophy. And original intent, same thing as originalism. Okay. Strict constructionism, the opposite of textualism, provides that the text be interpreted by reading the words as they come literally. And then textualism, which is the same as originalism, as with Justice Scalia, who used the methodology of interpreting the statutes of the Constitution. And he aimed at establishing the original meaning of the text. In other words, he tried to figure out what was they talking about in 1776 instead of applying a combination of 1776 and 2020, where he died in 2016, he died. So I think that's it. All right. I hope you all got a little bit of education on the justice system so y'all can see how important it is and why they are making so much fuss about it. But the real reason, of course, as Donald told us on national TV, is that he wants to get a justice in before election because he needs a ninth judge. And the reason that he needs a ninth judge, he didn't just come out and spell it to y'all, because he's already given us a hint that he's going to challenge the election. That means that he has to take it to the Supreme Court. So everybody is saying, well, not everybody, but most people, even some Republicans called in on C-SPAN and said that this should not be happening now, and so everybody, a lot of people, let me just say it that way, a lot of people are saying that Amy Coney Barrett is as being pushed through and rushed through so that she can be Donald Trump's puppet. To give a ruling on the ballot count so that he can stay in another 4 years. Yeah. And also, what else is at risk, really, really at risk, is the ACA, Affordable Care Act. A lot of people refer to it as Obamacare. And I'm concerned about that because the Affordable Care Act, that's why it's called the Affordable Care Act now, because they took out that tax where people had to pay, remember? So now it's called the Affordable Care Act, and every state had to expand Medicaid to people. But that was what part of it from the beginning anyway, the expansion of Medicaid. So what Trump wants to do and the Republican wants to do is they want to end it. They want to end it because they probably want to use that money to for the space program that they're trying that Donald wants. He wants this huge space program. So, but they want to end Medicaid. And a crisis at the time of the crisis when people need it with this COVID and pneumonia and flu season coming. They want to end it. They want to take away health care for people. Yeah. And I'm concerned about it for people of the land. I'm also concerned about it for senior citizens because here's the deal. It will also affect senior citizens who get extra help on their Medicare. The expansion of the Medicaid is connected in the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. And in Tennessee, it's called the QMB. And the QMB pays for that 20% of doctor bills and hospital bills for seniors, for people that's on Medicare or disability. So y'all see how important this is. That's how crucial this is. It's not just going to affect people that don't have health insurance, or that didn't have health insurance until Obamacare came along. It's going to affect people that have Medicaid and people that have Medicare because they have attached it now. See, before Obamacare came, Medicare was just out there by itself, sitting over here. And the senior citizens only got 80% of their hospital bill paid and their doctor bill paid. So when Obamacare came, they made the Medicare expansion mandatory for everybody. Then the Medicaid over here got attached to the Medicare. And this part of the Medicaid takes care of the 20% that the Medicare over here did not pick up for hospital bill and doctor bill. 80% plus 20% makes 100. And therefore, poor senior citizens and poor people on disability don't have to pay any money, not 1 red cent, for hospital bill or doctor bill, unless they sign up for that Advantage plan. See, that's where a lot of senior citizens make a mistake, signing up for those Advantage plans just so they can get some eyeglasses. And don't do that, because at that point, you are limited. You need to come. If you're on an Advantage plan, I'm going to tell you right now, because the Advantage plan, you have to come out of your pocket. You got to come out of your pocket and pay copays. And see, that's just a ripoff. Those advantage plans. You just need to get on the phone, call the Social Security office, tell them to take you off that advantage plan, just put you on straight Medicare and apply for your Medicaid because you are eligible for your Medicaid. You see, and see, they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. I have a special flag on my Social Security because I'm gonna tell you something. These advantage plans was sneaking. I don't know how to get your information because they send you mail every day, but they will sneak and sign you up. And you won't be knowing nothing about it. Until you go to the doctor or the hospital. It happened to my friend. And so I had her, I said, girl, you better get on the phone right now. Call the Social Security office, tell them to take you off of that mess and put you back on what you had. Because on Medicare, you're eligible for Medicaid anyway. If you're on Medicare, you automatically eligible for Medicaid. So those advantage plans, that's just a ripoff. That's nothing but a ripoff. So I have a flag on my Social Security record. Don't nobody call. Don't let nobody sign me up for no advantage plan. Red flag. Red flag. It's not me. That's right. I don't ever want it. Never. So if y'all know a senior citizen that's got an advantage plan and paying out their pocket for prescription medicine, well, I mean, it's okay. Even now, see, I have to pay small amounts. I pay like $3 or something for my prescriptions, but that's because I'm on straight Medicare and they hook me up. They hook me up with the plan that they want that will have me paying just a little bit of money. But see, I'm not on no advantage plan. But so because that's their job. That's their job to put you with a prescription company where you don't have to pay but $1 or $2 for your medicine. So if y'all got somebody or y'all know somebody, a senior citizen or somebody on Medicare, that is on one of those plans, and they paying $20 and $30 and $40 and $50 for their prescriptions and paying co-pays, $15, $20, and $25 when they go to the doctor's office, tell them to get on the phone tomorrow, call the Social Security office, have them take them off that mess, put them on straight Medicare, and then have them go online and apply for their Medicaid. Yeah, that's right. Because they'll have the Medicaid in about a month. Just stay well while they're approving it. Okay. Oh, I had to get that in. Listen, y'all. Just remember, everything that's in our life today in 2020 has something to do with politics. I used to say get involved, but ever since Donna got the impression somehow that I was highly involved in politics and sent me a letter wanting me to be the head of something in the 9th district, I don't say that anymore. What I say now is just have a high interest and pay attention to politics because they do affect your life every day. And remember, what you think up here, that's a philosophy. That's a philosophy. And it is not a policy. All right. Look, y'all, if the Lord say the same, I will see y'all next week on Pearls Politics. All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye. I don't know where my outro went to. It's in here somewhere. I'll start it in the middle. I think I put it out somewhere, but anyway, I'll start it. Bye-bye, y'all. I can't get me out.